Okay, so while we are enabling the chat box and you are able to say where you're joining us from and saying hi, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Claudia Romo Edelman. I am the founder and the CEO of the World Human Foundation and a very proud host of today's session to launch the Hispanic Heritage Month Toolkit 2023. This is the fourth year in which we're doing this, launching a toolkit for Hispanic Heritage Month. I am very proud to say that every year is been bigger and better and bolder, which we have seen the growth of the numbers of the number of people that are downloading our toolkit. We've seen the number of people that are visiting our website and the people that are using it. So it's been doubling year after year, with the first year having more than 4,000 downloads, the year after having 8,000 downloads, and last year close to 16,000 downloads of the toolkit. So I just want us to remember and imagine that we're able and enabling and equipping more than 16,000 organizations that want to manifest their celebration for Latinos and want to celebrate and engage genuinely with Latinos as employees, as the community, and as consumers. And those 16,000 organizations ideally will keep on growing, and allowing us to provide and make this toolkit useful. Today's presentation will be 1 hour, 45 minutes presentation from Lee Zarate and myself about the toolkit, 15 minutes for a Q&A, 45 minutes of presenting the objectives, the themes, the iconography, the assets that we have. It will be a step-by-step presentation of what we have for this year. We want you all to have be able to navigate Hispanic Heritage Month with confidence and start planning it now, 5 months ahead of time, so that you have the ability not only to plan, but also to get the resources you need, to get the approvals that you need to actually start planning and navigating it with confidence. What we know is that there's absolutely no way that as companies you can hire or sell or supply from without Latinos, that there's absolutely no way that a politician can win an election without Latinos, that the schools can actually teach without Latinos. So it's imperative for us to recognize the force. What we know is that Hispanics are critical to America. We know that Latinos represent, if we want to go to the next slide, we know that Latinos represent more, like we are the economic power. We're the people with the demographic, with more than 62 million people, close to 20% of the population today, Latinos. We are Latinos. We're making the prosperity of the country, the progress of America. We're the growth. There's absolutely no way that industries can grow without us. So we Latinos, we are the future, because of the population growth that we represent, because of the size of our economy, because of the size and the purchasing power that we represent. We are the future. We are also the entrepreneurs. So I want to take a moment to celebrate us all being here tonight. Now I see that the chat box has been enabled, and it is a pleasure to see the many of you joining us from all across the country. Stanford Healthcare, from Nicole, DC, Eugenia, Miguel Lopez, Eduardo Grubman from Florida, Andre, San Francisco Airport, from Olivia. Thank you so much, all of you, to being here. What we know is that Latinos are critical to America, and we know that it's clear that we are the entrepreneurs, the voters, the job makers, the citizens, the employees. We're all of that, and yet we're underrepresented, misrepresented, and undervalued. And this requires all of us joining forces to solve our unity, so that we can act as a community, so that we can be as one, so that we can speak with one voice. We want, like last year, we had more than 16,000 downloads of the toolkit, representing 16,000 potential organizations that are singing from the same song sheet, united in a single voice. We want this toolkit to be able to help in that unity of a voice, so that we can change our perception. And so in a consequence, we can change the representation of Latinos to the country. Because let's face it, we have a perception crisis. We, as according to the data that I just showed you, according to the data of the Census 2020, we Latinos, we represent progress, we represent growth. And yet, when you look at ourselves in the media, behind cameras, in front of cameras, and for the public perception, we're seen as someone we are not, as lazy, overly sexualized, overly complicated biases and stereotypes that are hurting the perception of Latinos. Let's take a sneak peek of a video that we prepared for you.
Es increíble lo que te sale de esa boca.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Let me just take a shot here to get the thing started,
Lordy,
you know?
Lordy.
Olay.
We love Pantene shampoo.
It's all natural. So it's got everything our hair needs.
Solo español.
You work here and you don't speak any English at all.
Save me.
This holiday is also known as Cinco de Drinko.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah, we have a perception crisis, but we're here to solve it, and we're here to act on it. And this is an incredible time and an incredible opportunity for all of us, from universities to students to companies to employee resource groups, to change and to take a new narrative that is meaningful, portraying us in a meaningful, respectful, and relevant way, a way that will be a win-win for everybody, because the moment you start portraying us the way we should, portraying us as progress, portraying us as growth, then Latinos are going to be leading towards not only being better citizens, more inspired to grow, but also to engage better with companies, to choose making choices as consumers. So we need a new narrative that is engaging Latinos and providing us with an opportunity. And that is why we created the Hispanic Star. And we want to offer the Hispanic Star as a symbol to unify us all, as a brand. When you see it, that you're like, yeah, this is good for Latinos. This star, Hispanic Star, can represent Latino unity, Latino pride, and Latino empowerment, a platform to showcase the incredible contributions of Latinos to the country, the way that other symbols have helped to unify and to gather to gauge interest and support for other communities, like the rainbow for the LGBTQ community, or the ring for the Sustainable Development Goals. The Hispanic Star can be one powerful symbol through which we are empowering, giving birth to this toolkit. So our invitation is for all of us to flip the script for Latinos. Yes, this Hispanic Heritage Month 2023, and throughout the year that you will be seeing from the We Are All Human Foundation, we have two new concepts that we're adding to the lexicon of our interactions, so that we all can actually have objectives in common when changing our perception, so that we can increase our representation. And those are flip the script and asset value framing, both of us were brought to my attention by Terry Arvizu from Univision Televisa. Let's understand what these concepts mean. Flip the script is a concept that challenges negative stereotypes and biases, promoting a more inclusive and positive narrative, reflecting the strength and resilience of the communities. Literally, turning tables, flipping the script. Every time that you feel that we are portrayed as like, yeah, you know, you don't have education, you can say like, yes, and yet we're making progress towards that. Well, yes, every time that there is an opportunity to flip the script, flip it. Every time that you see an opportunity to turn the table, flip it. Through what? Through the data. That is what this toolkit is going to give you. It's going to give you all the bases, evidence-based data, so that we can flip the script together. The second concept that we want to introduce today is assets value framing. Assets value framing. So let's frame through the values and the assets that we have, and we have plenty. And we will make sure that through this toolkit, we're going to be introducing all of those assets that we bring to society, all the values that we have, so that we can be shifting, all of us consciously, intentionally, the focus that we have from the deficits that we have to strengths. Moving from the negative pieces to the positive pieces, moving away from fragmentation and our differences to the unity, This is an asset-based framing that is actually asking all of us to move from deficits to strengths, highlighting the positive contributions of Latinos to our country. We will give you all the tools that you need, but this is an invitation for you to act as a community, as a corporation, as a university, and as an individual to flip the script and to base actually every time you feel the temptation to look at the negative angles, to look at the areas that are not working, we invite you to look at the things that are absolutely working. And the next slide shows you what we want as a framing for this Hispanic Heritage Month, the framing that we would like to introduce to you of this Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanics as the drivers of America's prosperity, power, and progress. Let me read that again. Hispanics are the drivers of America's prosperity, progress, power, and progress. Let's look at every one of the elements. Let's look at every one of the elements. Prosperity. What do we understand as prosperity? Well, it is understood as the condition of being successful or thriving, particularly economically. And we are prosperous. We are bringing prosperity to our community. We are gaining every time more, but we are also bringing America's prosperity. The economic well-being of America depends on how much the Latino contribution, like we're the drivers of America's economic prosperity. We're going to be looking at this concept through two angles. One is economic prosperity, and you will be getting everything that you need, from data to extracts to insights to research pieces to narrative, from everything that you need to understand about American prosperity, economic prosperity. Latinos as the driving force behind America's economic prosperity, Latinos as frontliners, keeping America running, and entrepreneurship, Latinos as above average rates of entrepreneurship. And the number two element that we're going to be bringing you here on bringing the data needed, to evidence-based data needed to argue for the prosperity that Latinos bring, are related to our values. From how much are we hard workers, are fighters, optimists, family values, and every time we have data to prove that every time that things go down, Latinos go high. Every time you can start seeing how the behavior of the country during COVID was disproportionately going down for Latinos, and how we were the driver, number one, for the economic recovery of America, the way that we're doing it in the recession. The concept number two that we want to introduce to you is power. Power understood as the ability to act or produce an effect, processing, control, authority, or influence over others. A controlling group. Yes, this is the time for Latino power. This is the time in which we're going to be looking at, from the population growth to political representation, the unstoppable rise of Latino power in America. From our demographic, our behavioral, our sentiment, we will provide you with every single piece of data that you need to evidence how much the power of Latino is rising in every aspect of America, from the youth to the industry contributions that we have, to the projections that we have for the next over of decades. We're going to be looking at the power that Latinas have in America today as top job generators, the job generators number one in the country, and the purchasing power that we have, the invisible purchasing power that people should know more about. We're going to be looking at power in the form of culture. Hispanic culture is shaping global culture, and how much that power is influencing other areas of our sphere. The last piece that we're going to be talking about and introducing is the power that Latinos have, the growing power of Latinos in politics. The last concept that we want to introduce you to for this framing is progress. Progress understood as improvement or advancement in a positive direction. That means from to. How much progress do we have? How much have we grown from one point to the other? And I have to tell you, Latinos are pure progress. From education to politics, Latinos are advancing in a positive direction in every single aspect of our lives. There's no place in which not advancing. Maybe not as fast as we want, maybe not as critical as we want, but we are making progress. And that is great for everybody, because Hispanic progress is American progress. We're going to be looking at the progress of Latinos through the population angle and how much growth we have, economy from the purchasing power, and how much Latinas owned businesses are growing, from upward mobility and every aspect of it, from income, poverty rate, education, home ownership, and then workforce. Altogether, Hispanics are the driving force for America's prosperity, power, and progress. And we hope that this framework will be helpful to you to build narratives that are positive. So this is your invitation to activate Hispanic Heritage Month bigger, better, and bolder, navigating it with confidence and enabling you to be able to engage with Latinos as consumers, as a community, as employees, as suppliers, and as students as much as you want and as much as you can. Let's maximize it, flip the script, and make sure that Latinos are seen, heard, and valued, singing from the same song sheet all throughout that month, September 15 to October 15. Let's watch a video about what we did last year and the results of Hispanic Heritage Month 2022.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lizette Zarate. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of We Are All Human Foundation, and now I'm going to present to you the objectives for the month, and I'm going to guide you through the toolkit, the actual resources that you can find in our website. They are live now. So, as Claudia was mentioning, we want all of you to join us in maximizing this Hispanic Heritage Month. Some of the objectives that we have for the month and that we can start positioning since today are: number one, position Hispanics as positive contributors and as growth, having in mind this flip the script concept that Claudia has guided us through. Number two, speak with one voice to break through the noise with a unified kickoff. I'm meaning on September 15th, we all have a date to kick off together. Number three, our third objective is to mainstream Hispanic Heritage Month and reach critical mass to get as much people on board as we can. And number four, elevate the Hispanic Star brand to elevate Latino visibility. So now I'm going to guide you through the three big buckets that this toolkit has in place. This is from our experience from the past years. This is everything that companies have been finding useful to activate Hispanic Heritage Month. The first one, it contains a unifying messaging framework, which is a common narrative. I'm going to share with you afterwards the briefing book where you can find these key messages that Claudia was speaking to us earlier, so that we can have a unified message, a unified voice We have different formats for it, meaning we have templates, we have PowerPoints, we have copy for internal and external communication. The second part of this toolkit are the datasets, which we believe that this is one of the strongest areas of these materials, because we have data about Hispanics in the US divided into 3 big buckets: the demographic, behavior, and sentiment. So I'm going to guide you as well through how does these data sets look like and how you can find data that speaks to your immediate necessities as a company or organization, and also happy to keep growing together this set of data. And the third big bucket, it has to do with branding and communication assets, meaning we have available for all of you our branding guidelines, logos, visual assets, and sample applications. We want to, as much as people as possible, to adopt the look so that we can have a more powerful message altogether. So now I'm going to go through to the toolkit. Here it is. This is the website. The website is live already, hispanicstar.org/toolkit. And in here we have, you can go in whenever you like and find everything that you need for the activations. So the first step is the briefing book, which I'm gonna stay a bit here so that we can explain what it contains. This is probably one of the most important and relevant pieces of content that we can have for you today. So it's loading here, just a second. Okay, so the briefing book 2023. This briefing book has all of the things that I'm going to share now. So the first part, it has an overview which explains the objectives of the month, which I've been sharing previously, some of the important dates, and also some forward by Claudia. The second part, it includes the overarching theme, which speaks to prosperity, power, and progress, some key messages in the form of an executive summary, and also these detailed key messages with evidence data points, which I'm going to show you afterwards. These key messages have been divided into these 3 buckets: prosperity, power, and progress. You can also find the US Hispanic Manifesto, the US Hispanic Decalogue, and the Hispanic Star Call to Action. The third part of this toolkit, it contains the messaging framework that I was telling you about, and it encompasses social media messaging for individuals, for corporations. This is just it will serve as an inspiration for you. You can literally copy and paste, or you can take from it and get inspired to create your own messaging as well. We will also find templates. There's a big and comprehensive presentation about the contributions of US Hispanics, and also a Hispanic Star social media template for employees. You will also find an open template and the unifying data sets and the branding and communications assets. We will see that everything is linked right in here so that you can find it easily. We will also see ways to activate internal activations, external activations, an example of activations so that you can adopt your look within your company and organization, and a list of Hispanic Star events and activations. This is a document that will be updated constantly, so keep coming back to it as much as you can. I'm going to go give a quick overview of how does this briefing book looks. Here you will find the forward of Claudia Romo Edelman, the objectives of the month, a little bit more with a bit more context of why this is important for us. The important dates, meaning we will have a Spanish version of the toolkit in May 15th, for example. We are working on a children's version of the toolkit as well. We will make available a communications calendar for you as well, the infographic for Hispanic Heritage Month, and some other important dates that we would love for you to consider in your planning. In here, this is the overarching theme that we have been explaining throughout this session, and some of the key messages. As we mentioned, here are the key evidence points with the sources of why we are focusing this year on these 3 big buckets: prosperity, power, and progress. So I'm going to go a bit quicker in this part because this is the extense part of the document. It has a lot of important data and more importantly, to set the context and to have us in the right mindset of why this is important. No. After all of these key messages and evidence points, you will see the US Hispanic Manifesto in here. I'm going to show it to you briefly afterwards. The US Hispanic Decalogue, the Hispanic Circle to Action, which speaks to us being a community, being proud, flipping the script, having networks of support, and sharing our common agenda for progress. No? In here, these are the unifying messaging frameworks, as I mentioned earlier, the recommended hashtags for the month, and some social media messaging divided by section with prosperity, with power, and with progress. In the part of the corporations, we even have included the part for you to insert the company name and the actions that you're doing as well. All of the templates have these very noted sections so that you can include your own contributions. In here, you will find the templates, the templates for about the presentation, which I'm going to show to you afterwards, the social media template for employees, and the open. As you can see, everything is linked in here. I'm going to go to the ways to activate afterwards in the presentation. Let me show to you quickly. This is how what the manifesto looks like. It's a very beautiful document where you will find a bit about our identity, our history, our future. It's a very lovely read so that we can all start on the same page. No? Also, here are some of here's the presentation of Hispanics in the US. I'm going to quickly skim through it just so that you can take a look. This is very heavy on data, but we have added also speaker notes that can guide you through it. Okay, so it's a long one, but it's very comprehensive. It's in editable format so that you can take as much as you need. Okay, so back to the toolkit. This was the briefing book, and also here are the branding guidelines. I'm going to go to the branding guidelines afterwards, later in the presentation, so that you can see where you can find the logos, the colors, the look and feel, etc. The manifesto we already saw, and now we get to the interesting part, which is the actual toolkit, the assets that we have ready for you. So this finder or search bar, it's very comprehensive, and we have divided it into sections so that it's easy to you to find assets. So the first filter, it's in the top of the box, and we have divided it between all of the assets. You can find them in here. Then you can find the ones that are categorized by data or that contain data. Also the digital assets. In here we have created assets in vertical, square, horizontal, zoom backgrounds, so that you can download and use. Also material for internal communications and for print. In print, you will have access to the editable files, literally ready to print. You can download, edit, add your logo, whatever you need, it's ready for it. So the second filter, it's on the left side of the box. And in here, well, this is the first category, which I already showed to you. Then are the subcategories, which have to do with the format. So in case you are looking for material for Instagram stories, for example, then you click in vertical and you will see all the resources that we have in vertical size. No, as you can see, we have made also adaptations from our infographics so that you can use as friendlier as you can in square, horizontal, or vertical. For example, we have also some banners in here. So if you want to see the banners, digital banners, meaning you will find them in here in different sizes. Also, if there's another size that it's not in here, but you need, you just can email us and we can have that ready for you as well. Here are the templates. Oh, just a second. The template, okay, so maybe we need to fix that one. And some applications in here. Okay, just a second. Some applications in here in creative ways in which you can utilize the materials that we have. No, we have for windows, for hotels, for tote bags, stickers, mugs, whatever you can think of. And the third filter, it has to do with the theme. So maybe you are looking today for material related to Afro-Latinos. So in here, we can just, okay, just a second, because I think that I have something here. To Afro-Latinos, so you will, the search bar will display everything that we have for Afro-Latinos right now. Video, infographic, image, whatever you need. For example, maybe you need to you want to look for some material related to Latinas, and you will have it in here. Or maybe you're looking for something about community. So what do we mean about community? So we have in here more and more. Literally, you can just dive in and start looking start searching for the things that you need. Every asset has the option of just having a quick view, not with the download, just to view it. You can download it in here, or you can also share it directly on your social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. So as you can see, this is a very easy to use infrastructure. Every month, we are going to be updating new assets and new materials. We know that we are 5 months away, so we have space to have more and more. In case you have also some suggestions, we're welcome to listen to them and to create more assets that are useful for all of us. So this is more or less how it works. In here, you can see also some of the application examples that I was mentioning in the past, just to spark some ideas and creativity for ideas that you might have. And we have also some of the important dates in here. So I'm going to return to the presentation so that we can go into the rest of the activities that we have. So in here, besides the toolkit, and also thanks to the toolkit, we are suggesting these ways to activate for Hispanic Heritage Month. The first one has to do with internal activations. This means celebrating your Hispanic stars, equipping your employees with the right tools, giving them the data so that they can share them as well within their networks, recognizing that you as a company or organization have really care about your Latino workforce, no? So it's a great opportunity to highlight Hispanic achievements within your company, and we have the materials for it. The second part has to do with external activations, meaning engaging with your Hispanic audience, meaning repurposing for example, repurposing your media placement, your billboards, your newspapers, your point of sale, creating events where we can plug in this narrative and these materials. So everything that has to do with your external audience, we have also materials for that, and we encourage you to do so. Also, adopt the look, using the Hispanic star as a unifying symbol for all Latinos. We know that also a lot of companies have been even earlier than us and have already plans in place. That's fine. I mean, we just want to adopt the look, meaning if you cannot include the Hispanic star, maybe we can include the colors. Maybe we can start unifying on this identity so that it's recognizable in the long term, and that we can own a branding, a branding about the Hispanic Heritage Month. And also we're having some activities, which I'm going to talk to you about afterwards. I just want to go quick within some examples of these activations. These are some ideas that have worked in the past with previous companies and organizations, and that can start giving you some ideas as well. So the first one in the internal activations examples have to do with highlighting the employees, which I already mentioned. The second one, giving your employees data and messaging framework about Hispanic progress, Hispanic prosperity, and Hispanic power. Also, we have seen how companies have created Hispanic Heritage Month goodies, meaning like pins, stickers, mugs, tote bags, and they are like a nice to have, and it's a good acknowledgement, about the month and the contributions. Also, organizing an event and showing your employees the contributions of US Hispanics. We have found also with experience that the presentation about US Hispanics has been very helpful for it, because it's a ready-to-go script about Latinos and our prosperity, progress, and power. So creating a small gathering, it would be also a good idea, no? In the external activations example, in here, we mean celebrating Hispanics in all of your external channels that you have available. I was mentioning earlier about media placement, billboards, newspapers, point of sale, repurposing your media properties. We have in the past had some spaces active in Times Square, for example. We have had space in radio as well. We have had, billboards in big companies. So this is an invitation for you, in case you have any media space available, to repurpose it for Hispanic Heritage Month. Also, if you're creating a live event, also we have video looks about Hispanic contributions that we can happily share, or we can create also one in together, no? Also, this has been one of the coolest from my point of view, because we have seen cities activating with the Hispanic Star during Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's exciting, and it's very purposeful. So we are suggesting to make your city visibly Hispanic friendly, meaning streets, art centers, libraries, museums, restaurants, airports, theaters, anything you can think of. In the past, we've had some libraries print our infographics and have them in the front entrance, so that when people come in, they see that we are acting upon something, no, and owning the data and sharing it with all of the people around us. So this is an invitation again to activate wherever you are, wherever you work on. Just take the materials that work for you, and let's make them useful. This one, it's about retail. So retail activation, creating excitement in your point of sale about Hispanic Heritage Month. If the times permit, maybe creating a special edition item about Hispanic Heritage Month. This is something that we can happily work with you and plan for it to make it more impactful, no? Or maybe just I don't know, putting within your stores some of the visual narrative and the visual brand of Hispanic Heritage Month. And finally, I'm gonna go and share with you the brand book so that we can all see it. And what do I mean by maybe it's not only about the Hispanic Star, but about having the same colors, the same vibe, in order for us to be aligned, no, and create something that's bigger than the individual efforts. So let me go quickly to the brand book. Okay, here it is. In here, you will find, this is very design friendly and also not friendly as well. So it's easy to read for everyone. So in here, we will see what are the values that we're trying to put out there. We explain a bit about the star. We explain a bit about the uses of the star in case you want to include them on your look and feel. We have also some of the colors and the color codes that you can use. And in here, we go to the Hispanic Heritage Month elements, which we've been seeing so far in some of the applications. In here, we see the colors that we are putting out there as Hispanic Heritage Month colors, some of the gradients that we can use. And in case you want to create your own assets, also more details about it, no? It's just a general overview of how we are imagining the look and feel for Hispanic Heritage Month and some of the applications that we've been seeing already. So, all right, I'm almost there. And finally, we also want to invite you to our activities. For now, we will have the 4th annual Hispanic Heritage Month opening ceremony on September 15th. It's an excellent way to kick off in a unified way, recognize the contributions, and just connect from all of the corners of the country with one purpose, no? It will be available in hispanicstar.org, and we will be happy to host you in there. And the second one has to do with updating your reading list. We are preparing to have the launch of 5 new books this year. The first one is the 4th volume of Hispanic Stars Rising, which showcases more than 90 stories about Latinos that are contributing to the country in their own spaces. And the second part has to do with our children's book series. Last year, we launched the first 2 with the stories of Celia Cruz and Roberto Clemente. And this year, we're going to have 4 more books. Thanks to all of the success that they've been having, now we are able to have more copies out there. So in May, we're having out Silvia Rivera and Selena Gomez's story. And by Hispanic Heritage Month, we will have the stories available for Sonia Sotomayor and Ellen Ochoa. So these activities are going to be updating constantly. We are sure that in the next following months, we are going to be plugging in more things, considering that we have also Latina Equal Pay Day on October 5th. that we have also local activations through the month. So we will be updating the information about our activities in hispanicstar.org/toolkit, and also within the briefing book in case you want to come here and review. This is a timeline of the things that we have been that we have been talking about. Most of them I already mentioned it. This is just a quick summary. So in May we have the children's book. In August we will have a communications calendar available for all of you to take as a guide or inspiration for your effort. We are also able to do custom assets about the toolkit. So in case you're interested in making some, please email us. My email is liz@weareallhuman.org or info@weareallhuman.org. And we are putting a deadline of August 31st to make those submissions ready. In September, we will have this infographic of Hispanic Heritage Month 2023. We can share it under embargo as well, like 1 month ahead of Hispanic Heritage Month. We are happily going to invite you to the launch of our 4 books. And yeah, getting ready to close as well in October in a powerful way.
Thank you so very much. I think that Liz did an incredible job. I hope that everybody joins me in thanking Liz for the production of this incredible toolkit in the presentation and all the team behind you. We are the World Human Foundation. We're working tirelessly, really putting blood, sweat, and tears into making sure that we are advancing the mission of accelerating the progress of Latinos, making sure that we're doing what we can to increase our unity, perception, and representation. This is the moment in which we're going to start opening up for Q&A. This is our Q&A moment. I'd like to take a moment to address some of the questions that I saw on the chat. Please, if you have a question, please put it on the Q&A on the chat or raise simply your hand so that we can go through it. I will start addressing some of the easier questions. We are going to be sharing this presentation. We're going to be editing a video so that you have the Hispanic Heritage Month Toolkit in a video format as well. But you're going to be getting a PowerPoint presentation, and a PowerPoint presentation of this presentation, sharing it, but also a PowerPoint presentation of the toolkit that you can be sharing with your HR department, that you can be sharing with your internal communications department, that you can be sharing with the dean of your university. So we would like to equip you so that you can go and present a proposal for people to use Hispanic Heritage Month. I would like to address a couple of the other questions that I had, and then I'd like to open it up for you guys on the chat, where Lisa and I, representing the entire team of We're All Human, would be happy to respond, and we're so proud that you like it. You're asking about labels, Hispanic, Latino, Latinx. Okay, so we are very much indifferent to the labels. So we are agnostic. We use everything and everything. We understand that people have preferences. We don't. We think that labels are labels, and we don't care too much about labels. We care about results. We care about how much we're paid, how much we're seen, and how much we're valued. And so use whatever you feel that is close to you. We're going to be using them agnostically because, again, only 3% of Latinos really even know that those labels exist, and labels could be confusing, distracting, or divisive. We're very much looking forward to for you to take all these assets. Someone asked, can I just use everything? Yeah, you can just use it. You can co-brand them. You put your brand on it. You can put your spin on things. We want to keep the facts straight, so we don't want to play with data, but we want you to be able to put your logo somewhere. We want to make sure that this is from all of us to all of us with love, so that we can change the perception of Latinos, and we can equip and allow for companies and organizations to really engage genuinely with Latinos by portraying it in a single way with a single look. But we also have Marisa at weareallhuman.org for any co-branding opportunity, or Liz for any customized opportunities for the toolkit. If you want to do something very special, we can work with you. The same way someone was asking, how do I talk to engage, who do I talk to about collaboration ideas? And that is all of us, an invitation for all of you to, yes, let's collaborate. The more we collaborate, the more we do, the better we're going to be in preparing for this month. And this is a month that is not the only month in which we're Latinos. But we do know, and I do want to address this, that was a comment somewhere. We're not Latinos only 1 month a year, but we want to invite you all to join forces to speak aloud and doing the same song sheet during that month. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be talking about Latinos year long, but we want to invite you to really make, break through the noise through this moment. So collaborations for Liz at weareallhuman.org, opportunities on Hispanic Heritage Month. And that leads me to the last two questions that I saw, and then we're going to open it up. You asked about voluntarism. We have voluntarism opportunities for you to become an ambassador of Hispanic Heritage Month, for you to be able to make sure that wherever you are, you talk to your sports club, to your church, to the people in your school, the people, and so you can be an ambassador of this toolkit. You can be an ambassador for the perception of Latinos by taking this toolkit, and we will guide you on everything you need to become a volunteer and go around your city, go around your club, go around your area, and make sure that you're inviting people to become to activate and start planning and activating Hispanic Heritage Month. So for voluntarism, Liz at weareallhuman.org. We have a volunteering toolkit in the website, or it will be there. I think that the last question that I want to address is regarding the funding and why are we not charging for this? I think that I got two questions about that. We Are All Human is a non-for-profit organization. We're mission-driven, and our organization the mission is to advance diversity and inclusion as a means to achieving equity and progress for all. We're very focused on the Latino community, and we know that by providing you with tools like this, by doing books the way that we're doing books for the children's series that we have, we're going to be able to equip really great players like academics and corporations, so that we can all advance the perception of Latinos. And so we have donations. For those of you interested, we live on, this is powered by donations and by corporate memberships. And I want to take an opportunity to be grateful for those of you that are corporate partners, because thanks to you, we can do these kind of things. Thanks to you, we can enable everyone in America to be able to have everything they need so that we can activate our voices. So thank you so very much. I'm going to open it up right now for Q&As. I see that we have a couple. Liz, do you want to take a couple of questions?
Yes, of course. I was just answering Monica earlier. She was asking about the sources for the infographics. All of the sources are in there as well. So do not worry about it. Let me see another question.
So they're asking about the theme. I see a question about the theme of Hispanic Heritage Month 2023. I read also in the chat from someone that the White House is going to be launching on the 26th of April a Hispanic Heritage Month theme. I'm not sure that this is the case. We just read it from the past. What I can assure you is that we are very happy with how the theme of Hispanic Heritage Month has been changed in the last years. We were working very closely with a couple of members from the White House, from different departments, trying to change the theme from being sort of victimizing us to putting us as heroes and flipping the script pretty much. So we're very happy that last year it was the theme was Unidos, Inclusivity for a Stronger Nation. We hope that we can be working in collaboration with the White House to come up with a theme that is reflective of the power, prosperity, and progress that Latinos are bringing. We do not know what the theme is, but we will make sure that everyone that subscribed to this webinar will receive immediately from us the theme.
Also addressing a question about if we are planning to do the infographic in Spanish. We do have some. The toolkit in Spanish will be out on May 15th. So from there, we are going to start including resources in Spanish and growing them every month. Infographics are a bit hard for the translation because of the way they are rearranged. But if you are interested in one or two pieces, or whichever pieces you are interested in, we can happily do that. We've done that in the past, and they've been also very useful. So short answer, yes.
And I have a question that I'd like to respond regarding the uniformity of the branding. And this is important, guys. I mean, like, let me just say, when you go and you look at Black History Month in the website, the colors are clear, the look is clear. It is green with green and yellow and red with black. If you look at Hispanic Heritage Month, it's all confetti, flowers on one side, paparachos on el otro. O sea, we're like all over the place, and we would like to adhere to a look. The branding guidelines are there on the website, and they are adhering to very much what you see in this presentation. It is respectful, it is fun, but it is corporate as well. Whether you can use the Hispanic Star logo or not, we are inviting everybody, because I've been a brand builder my entire life, and I know that logos help actually to capture the imagination of people, but all the branding guidelines are on the website. And in this respect, also Liz, responding to George Torres, who has a question about like partner platform websites that would like to partner. As I said, we're very happy to partner. We partner actually with 300 companies, so we'd love to partner. I would love to partner, and I think that the best conduit would be with me. So if you can email me, Claudia at weareallhuman.org, and then I can address the request and send it to other people. Liz?
Yeah, people also were asking about partnerships. How can they contact us for partnerships? The best person for it would be Paulina. So Paulina at weareallhuman.org as well. Thank you for asking that.
Or you can, like, we can put a couple of like, you can email me, Claudia, so that, you know, like, I think that there's too many emails, so it's like Liz or Claudia, and then we'll take it for everybody.
We will manage.
Maria is asking you, Liz, about like localizing this material, meaning put it more geography. I understand. Is that correct, Maria? Is that what you're asking? How can we localize the material, generate infographics that reflect individual communities? I don't know, Maria, if you want to like take open up your mic and share the information, whether you're asking for whether it's like per industry or geography.
She said yes. Yeah, she said yes. Yeah, Maria, yes, we do have capacity for it. We have a lot of data that is very localized and very focused and granular. So I'm happy to have this conversation with you offline to understand what are the things that you're thinking and how can we make it possible and put it out there, because probably what you have in mind, it's also something that's important for other people. So it will be good to have it into consideration.
And this is a reminder that month after month, we will have a webinar similar to this with the new elements of the toolkit, and also to get more people. So if you know of people that have not been in this webinar and want to come, every 15th of the month, we're going to be hosting a webinar presenting the new assets, and also, you know, like introducing the general idea. What we want is really to have everybody getting this toolkit so that they can plan and get ready and maximize and activate Hispanic Heritage Month. So tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell your schools, tell your city, and ideally we will be adding these requests that you have, localization per city and per industry. There was another question per industry. I think that is important to know also which industries you care about so that we can prioritize, and we know the basic and the general ones. Jaime Gonzalez, yes, we will be hosting, we will have a couple of activations at the regional level. If you're interested in getting involved in some of the activations that we have at regional level, please email me, Claudia at worldhuman.org. I am going to be in Dallas, 25th of May.
And for all of those asking that or that joined late in the webinar, do not worry, we will make this available for all of you and we will send it your way. So all good.
A level of partnerships. Chrissy is asking a level of partnerships with Hispanic Star and other non-for-profits. Absolutely, we welcome partnerships with non-for-profits, and particularly on the usage of the toolkit and data that we have available. So we're very happy to partner with you. So I think that we have 3 minutes left. I'm just going to skim quickly through. Other. I think that Pamela wants to clarify the connection between. Okay, sure. Pamela, you're asking, can you clarify the connection between Hispanic Star and World Human? Not very clear. Not clear. I want to speak from the forum I will be sharing. So We Are All Human is a non-for-profit that is powering a couple of initiatives. One of our most important initiatives is called Hispanic Star, And Hispanic Star is an initiative to advance, showcase the unity, perception, and representation of Latinos. And we do that by mobilizing corporations and by advancing our self-image, our social recognition, and our pride. So we are the enablers of an initiative. Hispanic Star is everybody. So Hispanic Star is a brand that everybody can use, and ideally everybody becomes the rainbow of the LGBTQ or becomes the rings of the Olympics so that we can all see it. World Human is a non-for-profit that is powering, enabling it. In my old world, this would be World Human is the United Nations, and the Sustainable Development Goals is the initiative. I think that with this, I hope that we responded all of your questions. Otherwise, please reach out. Liz, all of us have an email at weareallhuman.org. There's Liz, Claudia, Marisa, that we're happy to respond to any questions. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for registering. Thank you so much for caring. I am absolutely convinced that we're going to be able to advance and change advance our community, that we're going to be able to be seen, heard, and valued. Remembering that America is made of stars, and we Hispanics we are one of them. Thank you so much, and we hope that this toolkit is useful for you so that you can start planning and navigating Hispanic Heritage Month with confidence. Thank you so much.